entities, he believed, that had no place in a church. Nor had the workshop helped his jitters. With the title, On Fear and Building Suspense, he supposed it was never meant to. It had, though, been very evocative, and at several points during those 90 minutes he had thought about making his excuses and pelting back to Ratchette Hall. When one of the participants, the woman with the blue hair and New Age name, had called out the words that she swore summoned forth spirits from the tomb, much to his surprise he had felt a prickle of fear crawl down his back, and a bleak sense of foreboding stole into his stomach. It had taken him quite a while, in the comfort of his study, to convince himself that the invocation had raised no more than the hairs on his neck. "How silly," he muttered as he drew the curtains in the day-room. "Of course it wouldn't have done." Having said that, it was a revelation to discover that fear and excitement were remarkably infectious if one opened one's mind to them. How the mystery writers lived like that was anybody's guess, he pondered, as he turned off the lights. They must be constantly jumpy, bags of nerves. He was glad he wasn't one, especially not tonight. Still, All Hallows' Eve was nearly over and done with for the year. Thank goodness. They'd had quite a lot of those tiresome trick-or-treaters this time. Though it was just gone 11:30 now, there wouldn't be any more, thank goodness. They were well into the witching hour, when naughty little children should be tucked up in bed, and grown-ups too. He closed the door firmly. In the large panelled hallway, a flickering sliver of tawny light was inching across the tiles. Someone was still up in the sitting-room. Fancy that! And he was so sure they'd all retired. Now, which one of this motley crew were likely to be up? He'd put his money on Nicholas, the young fop. Probably still at the whiskey, too. That lad had a wicked gleam in his eye, which Graham noticed often roamed across the lithe form of the dark girl, Jocelyn. She was certainly lovely, with bright eyes and a sparkling wit that betrayed her high IQ, despite her attempts to conceal it. Yes, indeed. If he was younger, and of the inclination, he might have lost his heart to her too. But he was neither, and wanted to go to bed. One last job, then. He put his hand to the brass doorknob, rubbed dull from centuries of use, and entered the dimly lit room. The fire in the hearth was out, but someone had left a candle burning on the coffee table. Very irresponsible. He tutted. Halfway across the room, he noticed a pair of slippers protruding from the bottom of the curtains. Strange. Was someone playing a prank? Had they concealed themselves behind the weighty fabric? Perhaps they were about to jump out on him with a shriek and laugh when they had succeeded in frightening him to death. Graham craned his neck. The footwear was smallish, fashioned from felt with a paisley pattern over the toe. Female, he thought, which was also curious, for he couldn't imagine the older guests, Tabitha, Imogen, nor Margot, might possibly be bothered enough to stay up alone and cold for the sake of a good joke. No, he thought, that would be quite out of character. Darn. He would just have to go over there and see who it was. The caretaker took a deep breath and summoned his resolve. Padding as quietly as he could, Graham reached the drapes. If I whip them back without warning, he thought, this young comedian's trick might just backfire. They will be the one caught on the back foot, not I. He grinned at the strategy, and with nimble fingers caught hold of the velvet. Then in one swift, continuous movement he jerked back the curtain, to reveal nothing. It was just a pair of slippers, with no feet stuck into them. Though relieved, he felt an immediate sense of irritation fire his stomach. Who would leave them there? Why? Had they intended to scare him?